American Morning, the most news in the morning, period. Weekdays 6 Eastern.
The biggest concern of what we have up there in orbit really is twofold. Number one, the concern is there any possibility that these objects can collide with each other, which I think we found out the answer to that. Is there any danger that's posed to some of the articles that we have in space that actually are human-rated, like International Space Station? You know, we have humans up there flying around all the time.
Right.
And the other one is, what's the possibility that any of this can fall down to Earth and cause some damage or injury?
And that is, I guess, the biggest concern and a real possibility. The debris from the Columbia shuttle disaster spread all over Texas. We remember when it came back down to Earth. Skylab, of course, famously fell back in the 70s, parts and pieces falling. Oftentimes, because we are, 75% water, it does land in bodies of water in the ocean. But what are the real concerns? And what can we really do about it if this space junk is falling from the sky in more populated areas?
Well, as you'll see, you know, this is the first time in a very long time that it's the first time that two satellites have actually collided in space unintentionally, and it's one of the few times that we've ever had to really worry about the possibility of anything striking a location on Earth or someplace or someone. But the real issue here is that the risk of this happening gets greater and greater and greater as we add more objects to low Earth orbit. Now, some objects could stay in orbit for a very long time, some things 10,000 years or more, but other objects might fall out of orbit earlier. And the risk, of course, is that some of these objects, in some uncontrolled manner of reentry, could strike a populated area, and that's the real problem. Now, although the risk of this is not necessarily all that great, we actually stretch the risk out and say that, you know, this is going to be in orbit for a long time, so we don't have to worry about it. There's still the possibility that something like this can happen. And again, the more we put up there, the more we'll have to be concerned about this. So what do we do? Well, one of the things we have to do is figure out how do we plan for the intentional demise of these objects in a safe way. In other words, can we plan to bring them down over an ocean area where there won't be much issue about this?
Right.
Or can we actually figure out a system to collect some of this stuff so that it doesn't happen in the future?